self-mobilization of thoracic extension, foam rolling. So starting position is here, knees bent up, give yourself a hug, and Brandon's going to roll up and down on the foam roll. This acts as a massage to the low back and mid back muscles. You go up and down 10 to 15 times. The next position is going to be bottom on the ground. And he's going to work on extending over top of the foam roll on 3 different levels. So here's one level. He's going to move down and show another level. The goal here is to extend through your thorax, not through your low back or through your neck. So try to keep your chin tucked as you go through that movement, taking deep breath in and out. He's going to roll down a little bit further and try to extend over top. Keep the chin tucked and then come out of it. And then the last component of this self-mobilization is going to be arm raise. So he's in extension and then he's going to raise one arm over top. Breathing in, out on the way down, and then the other arm can raise, keeping that chin tucked, extending over top, and then coming out of it. Bridge, arm, reach, and lift. Start position is here with the bridge. End position is here. So you're bringing your hand to your other hand. You're keeping your glutes engaged and trying to breathe. And back to the start position. And then bring your bottom back down. And then up. So one more repetition. You should feel this more in your thorax and your shoulder rather than your lumbar spine. And then back to start and then done. The straight leg raise acts as a good warm-up for the hamstring mobility as well as a lumbar spine strengthening exercise. So the starting position is here. The end position is here. When he feels tension in the hamstring, he's going to stop the movement and trying to keep his spine flat to the bed or the ground the entire movement. 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. The knee doesn't have to be completely straight the entire movement. Hip openers or wipers. So our start position is here, trying to get the knee close to about 90 degrees. End position is when he rotates the other way. This should be felt more so in the hip. This shouldn't be felt in the knee or the ankle. If you feel it in either, you might have to put some padding underneath. And then back to the start position. Good. So kind of a 3-second count, 1, 2, 3, to the next side, 1, 2, 3, and trying to maintain that 90-degree knee flexion angle the entire time. Self-mobilization of thoracic rotation in an archery stretch or pose. So the top leg is bent up to 90 degrees, the back leg is bent back to 90 degrees to lock your hips in. He's going to start with this hand on that hand. So starting position is there. End position is as he rotates away from the hand. He should feel a strong stretch in his rib cage or thorax. Breathe in, breathe out, and then finish the movement. Back into the starting position. We'll do one more. Breathe in, out, and then finish the movement. Static stretch of the lats. Starting position is here. The area that we're trying to stretch is from here all the way to here. End position, go ahead. He rocks back and he leans into this area of stretch, and he's also going to hold the hand down to prevent it from moving, holding this for 10 to 15 breath cycles and increasing the stretch on this outside lat. Here we have thoracic rotation with your bottom on your heels. So the start position is here. He's reached his arm across his body. He should be feeling a bit of a stretch into his shoulder. And then the end position is here. Trying not to overextend through your shoulder or your neck, keeping the double chin and feeling this stretch more so through his thorax rather than his lumbar spine. And then back to the start position. Here, feeling this through his shoulder, and then back to the end position, feeling this more through his thorax. So about 10 to 12 repetitions as a 3-second count going through the whole movement. Here we have the bird dog exercise, a lumbar spine strengthening exercise. Starting position should be a neutral lumbar spine. So I'm going to get him to just tuck his tailbone underneath a little bit. That's more neutral spine. His chin is tucked. Now we're going to get him to raise his right arm with his left leg. So end position looks like this. And then he's going to go back into the starting position and then do the other arm and leg. To add more to the movement, he's going to go through the whole movement. Go ahead. And then touch your elbow to your kneecap underneath. And then relax. And then do one on the other side. You're trying to keep your lumbar spine as neutral and steady as possible. So try to think about balancing a tennis ball or a dowel on your low back. 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions. Here we have a yoga flow routine. So we start with the mountain climber, where he brings his right leg up into his chest and then extends it back out and back to the starting position. He's going to then go with his left leg in, out, and back to the starting position. Those movements, you should be feeling some core contraction, your glutes should be squeezed, and your shoulders should be nice and stacked. The next rest position is more into a yoga push-up. So he's going to bring his head between his shoulders. His shoulders are trying to go over top of his hands just slightly, and he's feeling that flex all the way through his spine, and then back into the push-up position. And we will go mountain climber, back to hip extension, and down, and then the other side, and down, and then into the yoga push-up, and repeating that about 10 to 12 times. Here we have a sprinter stance, flow to a warrior pose. So the start position looks like this. We can hold this for 10 to 15 breath cycles. You should feel a stretch into the left glute, or the leg that's in front should be felt in the glute, whereas he should be feeling a stretch into his right hip flexor. The end position is going to go into warrior, which is where he raises his arms up and off. Trying to keep a nice stable knee, not letting your foot collapse, creating a little bit of tension through the foot, and then back into the sprinter stance. So sprinter stance can be held for about 10 to 12, whereas warrior could be held for about 5 to 8. Back into warrior. Again, emphasizing that lead knee being over top of your foot and having a little bit of tension through the right leg that's down.